And shares of Micron on the move here in after hours after the company reported a beat on its bottom line, $2.16. That is ahead of Wall Street expectations of $2.11. Sales of $7.69 billion. That is basically in line with Wall Street consensus. Sanjay Malhotra, the CEO of Micron Tech, says we are now shipping our industry-leading DRAM and NAND technologies across major end markets, and we delivered new solutions to data center, client, mobile graphics, and automotive customers. He also referenced some powerful secular trends, including 5G and AI. You can see shares here are up over 6.5% here in extended trade. The conference call, guys, starts at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, and I will be on it. Back to you.
Seema, thanks very much. Let's bring in Matt Bryson from Wedbush Securities. He has a neutral rating, an $85 price target on the stock. Matt, give us your first impressions here. Seems like the revenue guidance maybe is behind some of the cheer in the after-hours trading.
Yeah, no, certainly it is the guide. So when you look at this management team, they're known for guiding conservatively. They came out, they guided ahead of numbers. People are looking for fundamentals in memory to bottom over in the next 2 quarters, and it looks like a very good guide, particularly given my concerns, for instance, that numbers could come in a bit lighter simply because this management team tends to be so conservative.
Right, so that's being taken as even more of a positive maybe than it otherwise might. So, you know, you have kind of a hold rating on the stock. It's right around your price target. What might change the outlook for you in terms of, you know, how the stock is valued relative to this new outlook?
So when I look at Micron, what I find as being interesting is that the stock hasn't appreciated as some of its semiconductor peers. In general, the memory industry hasn't appreciated, as have names like NVIDIA or AMD. But when you look at the underlying trends, something like AI, certainly AI requires more DRAM as well as more GPUs. And so I find that very interesting moving forward. What I've really been waiting is for fundamentals in the underlying memory markets to bottom. So to see DRAM pricing turn more favorable, to see NAND pricing turn more favorable. As of now, that hasn't quite happened, but that's really what I've got my eye on.
Matt, do these results suggest anything being alleviated, perhaps, around the global semiconductor shortage, which Micron has been affected by, has held back shipments?
I don't know there. So one of the issues for Micron and the memory complex in general has been that companies were building inventory throughout the first half of 2021, and when they started to run into trouble shipping product because they couldn't get other semiconductors, so they couldn't ship a PC, they couldn't ship an automobile, then they started to work down those inventories. And so what is hard to say is whether end demand is rebounding or whether it's simply that those inventory work downs have gotten to the point where inventories have normalized. And so what Micron's seeing moving forward is more in line with what end demand trends are. And maybe things get even better once I see inventories, or once IC availability normalizes.
How is the setup more broadly for the group, Matt, as we look into next year? I mean, what favored areas are there? You know, some of the ones that seem like they couldn't miss, like NVIDIA had this amazing run, and now it has been, you know, for sale for a couple of months. So what are the themes you think are most important heading into next year?
So I certainly think that from a thematic perspective, NVIDIA is still in a good place. It just is expensive. But when I look at places where I'm confident there's going to be more spend, I'm confident that large cloud companies are going to spend more. I'm confident that enterprises are going to spend more. I'm confident that we're going to see a proliferation of electric automobiles, and that will all flow into the semiconductor complex. Again, I think if you look at all of those names, some of those names have appreciated a lot. Some, like a Micron, like a Western Digital, like a Silicon Motion, I don't think it's appreciated that they also benefit from all these underlying trends. You need more memory, you need more storage, and so I think in my mind, at some point, Wall Street needs to realize that these companies too benefit, and that there's room for them to enjoy the multiple appreciation some of their peers have seen over the past couple months.